Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up? What's up, friends? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name is Adam Vale, senior editor over at Koalition.com.
And I'm Josh Lamage, writer for the Koalition.
Oh, people, we are back. This is Gen V Season 2, Episode 7, Hell Week. There's only one more episode, so we're getting toward the end of this. But real quick housekeeping, give you some heads up on some of the changes, some good stuff, bad stuff, all fake stuff. No, I was just gonna say bad stuff. It's over. This is it. This is the end of one more episode of Gen V. No, good stuff is going on here because we became a YouTube partner. We hit a big goal, a big milestone with YouTube, which is crazy. You know, we've only been around for a few months. Already hit over 3,000 watch hours, and the subs are coming in. That's great. Over 25,000 downloads and listens over on the podcast, the Spotify, the Apple Pods, Amazon Music. That is another crazy wow. So big thank you, people.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a big one. That really shocked. Really shocked. Not so much shocked about it, like, oh, well, what do you mean? I'm shocked more like that there's just people out there that want to hear others just discuss shows, not just an AI narrated script, but more like a free-flowing conversation talking about the shows as we watch it. Because as you know, our format is that we watch it together, just take our notes, then jump in. No edits, no cleanups, no hold on, let me GTS this, I gotta pause. That's not the real world. And that's not what we were going for. And we take the good and the bad, which is what I'm saying. It's like sometimes we'll mess something up, we'll miss something. Of course, people quick to call it out. Fine. That's what we always say, right? Put it in the comments. It
just
is what
makes
it
us
is.
better. It just makes us better.
That's it.
I don't care.
That's it. Exactly. It's like it's just one of those situations. But I just wanted to get quick housekeeping. Thank everybody. Just let you know where we're at. Got all these plans going forward, you know, with the channel and other things happening. But we're on the right track, and that's all to you people. Thank you. All right, but with the sad news, I guess kind of sad. You know, this show grew on me. Not so much to the point like The Boys, but I'm sort of digging it.
This episode did it for me. I liked it a lot.
Oh yeah. Isn't this how it usually is, right? Where right toward the end of a season, everything starts coming together, and all the pieces of the puzzle start clicking in. Like, oh, I get it now. I see where we're going with this. But I called it. I had a feeling this was a Dorian Gray type of situation, where you know the whole painting, and that's where the old man, the young man.
In a way, it kind of is.
It is. It's a little reverse. But when we get into it, I think that's what's going on here with that. So. But what I don't like is how they went about it, which we'll get into at that point. But let's start go ahead, Josh. Start this off.
All right, episode 7, Hell Week. And for any of my fraternity brothers or, you know, sorority sisters that are out there, we know that term pretty well, Hell Week.
Oh, yes. Alpha Phi Delta. I had my Hell Week. I remember that.
Chi, let's go. Or we didn't do that.
Mine wasn't so bad. I just remember not having a lot of clothes and walking around in the street, but that was upstate. I remember doing that. It was freezing, and I like going to that store and go say you're gonna buy something, but you got no money, and just going with your tidy whities.
Mine was a lot of nights of no sleeping, but Annabeth, Marie's sister. The episode starts with Annabeth having a vision. We didn't know it was a vision at first. We see just weird stuff happening. We see Marie like covered in blood, staring as if she's dead. Just look really crazy. We don't see anything like cuts or anything on Marie, but we just see blood pouring onto her. And then Annabeth jumps up. It was a nightmare. And we know from the last episode that she has visions. She has visions of things may happen soon or may happen later on, which she dives into much later. But she freaks out. She gets up and she's like, where's Marie? Where's Marie? Jordan gets up. Everyone's getting up. They're like, what are you talking about? What happened to Marie? You know, Stan Edgar's nowhere to be found at this point right now.
Of course not. Well, this is the way it works on this one. All the cast members that are showing up from The Boys only pop up for that episode, and then poof, They're out of sight, out of mind. No one talks about Starlight anymore, right? That's gone. So
Yeah. But Jordan is upset. They're like, "What is? I can't believe Marie left me again." It seems like Jordan is just having this really complex time of just like their strength. You know what I mean? Just
yeah, I mean, so the fact that no one heard that elevator, yeah, come on now, that was pretty loud. All that's loud. Nobody woke up. I get it. No one even Stan doesn't show up. Edgar doesn't show up for this scene. They do bring up the niece Zoe, but she doesn't show up with them. That would have been cool if she became part of the crew. She's in the age bracket, right? She could have applied to this, but no, that doesn't
she
happen.
stayed.
She just stayed. She was like, yeah, "I'm hanging out with Grandpa," and all they wanted was a car. They're like, "All right, this is the plan. We see that Kate's gone with Marie. Where did they go? We know where they went. At least Sam does. We know they're going to Cipher."
Jordan says, "I know.
Well,
Where they
Jordan.
went."
Yeah, Jordan. Jordan knows. That's right. It was Jordan, not Sam.
So then we cut to Jordan and Cate. They're in like a parking lot. I guess she just parked, and Kate's like, "Hey, like, if we're looking to find Godalkin, are we going to Cipher's house?" And Marie's like, "Yeah, I want to go to the house." And she's like, "Okay, well, I can help you if you heal me." And she's like, "Why would I heal you? Like, why would I heal you? Like, you
What
did
would
all
you
this."
do, Josh?
What I do?
Yeah, if you're Marie, would you heal her? Would you fix her up? I take
I
that as
think
a
I
no.
would. I
That was
think
too
no, I
long of a
would.
pause.
I would. I
You
would.
would?
I
I don't believe
yeah.
you.
No, what?
I
I had the
call
process to present.
shenanigans. It's too long of a process. Nope.
I had
That's
the
not
process.
how that works. That's it. It's a quick
You don't
turnaround.
think
You would
about
know.
things before you do?
Nope, I don't. If somebody puts a gun to my imaginary dog's head and it's like, I shoot this or I eat a Snickers bar, I already know what I'm gonna do, and I grab the Snickers.
Well, that's an easier
Listen,
situation.
yeah, oh, sorry. That's right. You were gonna okay, but I don't think it makes sense to heal her. I get what's happening now, and we've seen this in so many shows of flip flopping of a character. Oh, are they good? Are they bad? In the gray zone. And yes, everything that Marie brought up applies here. You just want to be nice to us because your powers got screwy and your situation hit the poo. Now you want to be nice.
I could see that, but in the same token, she was controlled by the vault machine, as they brought up before.
Yeah.
She's also gone to having no powers and feeling helpless and realizing that she could do something and that she could fight against everyone that's manipulated her before. I think they're gonna heal her later at some point. I mean, like, what's the point of keeping her?
I think it'll happen by accident or something. I could see her getting severely injured, and it's like you have to heal her, not just for her powers, but to keep her alive. That's one thing I believe. Marie doesn't want anyone to die, right? So I could see that happening. So is she going to heal her to give her powers? No.
Well, she
But
says, "I promise I'll never use my powers on any of you again."
so what? They all promise.
And then Marie's like, "Well, just because you're broken, it means that I have to trust you now. Like, what is
damn
this?
right. Damn
You're
right.
making promises." So then
That's true.
Jordan and Annabeth share this little filler scene. They kind of reiterate some of the things, but Annabeth brings up how she would have nightmares for many months about something, and then eventually it came true. And she was ashamed of her powers in the same sense that Jordan was. Jordan felt that their father wouldn't be accepting of their powers. And even though he wasn't, they feel that if they didn't have those powers, they wouldn't be who they are.
Yeah. Well, I call this filler because this is for both of them. We already know this. They're talking to each other. I get that, but they're also talking to the viewer, and we know the stories for both of them. We already learned about everything with Annabeth, and then we know the situation with Jordan. So whatever. But we did get something in here, and shout out to I'm blanking on see real live. This is it. I don't have it in front of me. I thought I did. The person over in Spotify brought up in the comments. It's like, oh, Sam can't fly. He just does like super jumps, like the way Hulk, super jumps. So okay, I don't remember when they brought that up. That must have been in season 1, and I don't remember it then either.
Yeah.
But point is, Jordan brings it up because Annabeth says, "Oh, can he fly?" It's like, "Oh no, he does big jumps, And I said to you, I was like, "Man, I hope they do a
Speaking of
scene
land,
where Yeah, that he just lands on a moving car by accident, or somebody was running in the field. Let's say I could see that bunch of kids just playing soccer or something like that, and
Oh my
he jumps
god.
off. He jumps over. He's like, "Oh, okay, nice big open field." And then out of nowhere, little Timmy running there to goal. He's super fast. We got another little, cacao over here, and he just lands right on him. It's like, oh, my bad. I mean, we've seen situations like that over in The Boys. So I just
That's
figured
so
that'd be
dark.
funny. Why not? The whole show is dark. This is a dark comedy. So
I mean, it's kind of like the Hulk how you would just like at least 2003's Hulk that was just like
yeah.
jumping really
Well,
far.
that's what he has. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen it. We saw when he landed back at his house, but we haven't seen him do the whole yeah. I think even when in this episode when he pulled when he landed with Emma. It takes. I guess it takes a lot with the special effects.
I'm
That's a
assuming
lot
he
of work.
could see where he's flying towards. I mean, I don't know if it has any control over like manipulating his movements. But anyways, Annabeth looks at Jordan and is like, "And are you guys dating, like boyfriend and girlfriend, or girlfriend and girlfriend?" And then Jordan is like, "I thought we were." So they're feeling a little bit abandoned right now.
This is the least of their worries right now with everything that's happening. I wouldn't even stress it. Don't even think about that. Just move on. Be like, hey, we got all the issues. We got the Cipher situation. Godolkin, is he not? What's happening? So don't even stress it.
So then Marie and Cate enter, or they're outside of Cipher's house, and they're like, "Well, I thought there was guards. Like, what's going on here?" They enter in. Marie can sense a heartbeat, so they're thinking that it's Godolkin inside his hyperbaric chamber. They go in, he's not in there. They're like, "Okay, what is it?" Then they see Polarity, who forced Cipher away in the last episode, and he's still injured. His tremors, everything is going on right now. So he comes up to them and he's basically saying that Cipher took the old man with him, and he wants to kill every soup that he deems as weak. He wants to, limit the soup population. But his powers, he can control or prevent Cipher from controlling him.
Yeah, no. When I remember when Cipher brought this up, and I was thinking about it, I was like, why not? All right, I get where it's like, oh, we just want the ultimate of the best, that type of thing. We get that also at the ending. Well, why not just put them in a separate group? Just create different factions. They can still serve a purpose, whatever ability it is. There's got to be some way that they can still help the cause, the people. I mean, if we're putting
He's
this,
just like trying to purify this whole thing and make it more
but
valuable.
it doesn't work like that, because as we know now that Marie is a one of a kind. If you want to compare really with Homelander, but still Homelander can't heal and revive the dead. So no, you're not going to have a bunch of Maries, but everyone's going to have different powers. And if that's the case, then just
Well, he's
kill
feeling like he
everybody
used
at the
those
school.
powers, like
He
kind
could
of
say
gimmicky
what's used.
powers.
Well, you could still. That's what I'm saying. Gimmicky might be able to help for other causes. There's got to
That's
be a
true.
reason
That's
for
true. That's
everything.
valid.
Yeah, and so then put them in different groups.
C tier powers.
There we go. You got the C tier, you got the D tier, you give them crazy names. I mean, Marvel did it for years. We got the Guardians of the Galaxy. Remember when that first? It was like, what the hell is this? Who are these people? Do they even have any real powers? Didn't matter. It worked out. There's plenty of other groups. The X-Men, that was the whole thing, and this is very reminiscent of the whole X-Men situation. Oh man, I said man, men, women, everybody that's in that, they all had different powers. Gambit over here throwing cards and stuff. Come on now. But hey, it is what it is. So let's just whatever. It
Deck of
just
cards at people.
yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. This is what I didn't really stick with the story on this, when it was like, oh, we're just gonna purify, and so you're just gonna kill everybody else that have some soups, but you already don't like the humans. So what you're going to be left with
He
you're
wants
just
to
going to
be
be left
God.
with Marie, just going to
He
be left with Marie and Homeland, or just
Wonder.
himself. Yeah,
He wants to
or
be a
himself.
god. That's it.
Yeah, of
But
nobody.
but Cipher is now in a basement, and he has we didn't get it confirmed yet. Obviously later on it
Yeah,
is confirmed, but at this
old
point
man. We'll just
the
call him
old
old
man is
man.
behind him and just like staring at the ceiling, barely breathing. And Cipher is pissed, and he's like, "How is he controlling it? How is he able to block me? Is it something with the synapses and the electrical impulses of his brain? Like, it has to be that. It has to be that." And he's like thinking like a scientist, right? He's like walking back and forth. He's contemplating, and he's like, "It's over. It's basically over." And he takes off his belt and just starts beating the heck out of the guy, and and just hitting him with the belt. And then he's like, "Might as well just end it." And he takes like the air canister.
Yeah, the air canister. Yeah.
He's about to like slam it on his head, and you see the man like tearing up, and then he doesn't do it. And then he gets a notification on his phone, and he's all happy. He's like, "Yes, she was right," which he's meaning Sister Sage. You know, she knows everything, obviously predicting. He knew that she knew that Marie would show up at some point, you know? So, yep, there we go.
That's it. Thanks, Ring Doorbell. There you go. Gave away, got the image. Now, here's the thing. You said that the old man was tearing. Like, oh, no, don't kill me. Do you think he was going to pull it off? He was still going to do it or stop, regardless of the image? Like, I thought that he was going to smash the old dude's head. That was if he didn't get that ring. But you said that he saw the tear
No,
and
no,
that
no.
he was going
didn't.
to stop.
He was
that
contemplating. He was contemplating, like
probably
contemplating
was.
ending the whole thing because everything wasn't going to work out, right?
I mean, I
According to the
still
plan.
want to know how he got that position. I want to know about the board of directors. Who put this guy as dean and didn't vet him properly to know his backstory? Because that brings up more questions toward the end for that, right? When we get to it. But yeah, it's we knew this was going to happen. Obviously, you can't just kill him, and there we go. Now we got Marie.
He also looks at the guy and he says, "Time for a big sacrifice."
Big sacrifice.
So then Polarity's like, "Well, why did you come back here?" And Marie's like, "We think that the man that he has is Thomas Godolkin, and he can help us take down Cipher." They feel like Godolkin's the key to everything, you know, stopping Homelander, stopping.
Because that's what Stan, Edgar said.
Yeah, that's what Stan Edgar said.
And he hand over the file, and it's like, if there's anybody that could stop Homelander, why? What makes you think he would want to stop Homelander? But they feel they have to have this belief. I was not sold on that, but
then Polarity is like, "Well, I could stop him. I could knock him out for a little bit." And they're like, "No, we can't just knock him out for a little bit. Like, we need to stop him. And then he's like, "Well, what he did to Andre, or what it's Andre." And he brings up Andre, and all of a sudden, like, things start shaking and things start flying everywhere, and he's having a seizure. And so Marie runs over and she touches him and she does her healing stuff. Her nose starts bleeding. Kate's head starts hurting. And then everything stops. Polarity stands up and he looks at his hands and he's so happy. I mean, it's like the first time.
Hallelujah.
I mean, how would you feel like our ailments being healed for the
I would be happy and then concerned because it's like, is this temporary? Is this permanent? Right? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this. What's the side effects? It's like there's a bunch of questions I would ask, but at first, yeah, he'd be happy, especially with his condition. He said he had it for years. Remember, he was like, "Oh, I got this for years," and
what's the first thing you would do, Adam?
If with the tremors, and I can do that,
or just like someone healed you from anything.
If they healed me, what's the first thing I would do? The first thing I would do. I don't know. I think I do. I would go down to a Mini Cooper dealership and I would test drive an S series Mini Cooper. I think that's what I would do. Go real fast with this little one on the highway. That's probably the first thing I would do.
Oh, that's sick. I like that.
Yep. All right.
But yeah, so his tremors are gone. He's happy. He's looking at his hands. He's feeling good. And he's like, "You healed me. Like, I forgot what this was like." And then he's, the same thing comes up again. Like, "You should heal Kate." She's like, "You told him to say this? Like, what is this?" And he's like, "You should heal her. Like,
heal everybody," right? I think that's his whole idea, right? It's like, hey, your friend, if you're friends, but then she brings up all the good, valid points. She double crossed all of us, even Andre, even your boy. Come on now. But he says he still stands by her. He says, "Hey, Vought makes you do a lot of horrible things, and you got to look past that. Got to be better." No, she's not buying it. It's not buying it. And it's good. Stick by that. Don't buy it. I'm still not buying it. At least not in this show. We've seen too many times where nice guys and gals always get hurt in the end for doing the right thing. So, no, don't even bother. Don't do it.
So Sam lands finally, and Emma's in his pocket, and she's small.
Mhm.
And
She's like, she froze.
she's like, I'm gonna go change. Like, she's naked. She's like, I'm gonna change. Don't look at me. He's like, I'm not a perv. Like, I'm not looking at you. And then we hear some dude in the background, like, Yo, Sam, where have you been, bro? And he turns around. This is like his frat guys.
Wasn't that the dude that had his wiener cut off or shut off? Wasn't that him in
Maybe
season 1? I think so. I think
that's
that
that
was
blonde
him.
guy, right?
Yeah. I think that was him.
So then they bring out that other guy with the ass powers, and he's like, we got your pledge. You have to watch him. It's Hell Week, which is the title, and we see a hand come out and a chain. This whole thing, the guy comes out. And it's just like a pledge.
Now, it wasn't even someone said he was coming out. Is that the guy made it seem like he was pooping him out? He's pushing.
Yeah,
He's like,
he's pushing.
and I'm like, okay, you know what? The only way they could make this even more gross is if the guy just had like poo stuck on him, or like just looking all messy, coming out. It's like, and you see him crawling out and maybe spit something out of his mouth, like,
Oh, he
that.
seemed unfazed. He just came out like kind of like gooey
But
almost.
so this, and I have an issue with this, and it's not because of the grossness. It's just because later on when he does talk about his powers, right? This guy, this pledge, talks about his powers. This has to be a power in itself that he can squeeze himself in that position. It can't be the power
I think
of
this
the guy that
dude
was
has some
carrying
kind of
him.
like inner chamber or some magic thing. I don't know.
You know what I
Because
mean?
he's the same one that like sucked up all the beer from the from
Yeah,
the
no,
thing.
no,
He's just like
but still, if that's the case, how did you hold your breath that whole time? How did you breathe? No, and you're still getting compacted in this small. I mean, if we saw the guy walk around with a big gut, then that happened and he empties out. No, I still think that it would be the plagues that would have that kind of power. Sort of like Emma, that she can shrink. Maybe if something happens that he has the ability that if he's in a
he like
tight
shrinks them
space,
when they're in his
if
ass.
he's in a tight anyway, not just an ass. Just like let's say if he was trying to get into a box and trying to
Oh,
do
you
a
mean the guy
contortion,
himself? No, I
the
think
guy
that's just the
himself.
guy's. I think that's the
If he
guy's
had this
powers.
ability, we know he doesn't have this ability. No
It's the
spoilers.
butt
Or
guy. I think he's able to compress people.
look at that. Look at it. You know how many cartels would love to have somebody like that just smuggle stuff in. I was like, what? How much can we fit? As much
I,
as you want.
wish
Let
we
it
could.
go.
I wish we could have like a writer of the show again, like we did with some other shows. Like
Oh yeah.
tell us
Just
stuff
throw it
about.
out. Like, come on,
That'd be
go.
cool
Let's.
to get that backstory on him. But yeah, he comes out and they're like, yeah, this is your pledge. It's how we gotta like take care. Like you gotta watch him for the week or for the day. And then Greg shows up, the guy that Emma likes, and he's like, "Oh man, I was so worried. Like I was hoping that the last time I saw you wouldn't be the last time." And she's like, "No, I'm fine." And then Sam sees this going on, and he's feeling a little,
He's jealous.
he's jealous. He's missing Emma, kind of. And they had that conversation before about the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
He's just standing there with like a dog collar and chain, holding the guy in
Put a diaper.
in a diaper. And Greg is like, "Oh, is he good?" Like, yeah.
So
Like,
not
he's
the
about
diaper guy. I don't know who that is, but the other guy. No, I mean he's got. And she brings up all the points. He's been under with it. He was a captive for the school and for the medical facility for almost his entire life since he was a kid, right? So no, he's never really gonna be good because Greg was like, you can't trust that guy from everything that he knows about him, and it's understandable. But she's like, no, it's not like that. It's complicated. It's very complicated. But right, we get the answer. Greg's power. He can fly. This dude can fly. Sam can't fly, but he's strong and he can fly. Yeah. So he's like, hey, I'll do a flyover. I'll look for Marie. I'll do the whole thing. It's like, all right. And then he just takes a.
And then Sam comes over and he's like, well, I guess they have a conversation soon about that. And he's like, I guess I feel jealous. I've never felt that before, but I'm just on my way to being normal, I guess. He's like, I'm sorry I'm so weird. And he's like, I'm sorry I'm so weird. And I was like, you're not weird. You're just you. Like, so then So
But
then
that's like a non-answer then.
Kate,
What the hell
Marie.
does that mean? You're not weird, just you. So
So
what?
Kate,
What? Go ahead.
Kate, Marie, and Polarity are still are in. They're back at the school now, and they're looking through his office, Cipher's office, and then the phone rings, and then it's Cipher, and he's like, "Oh, welcome back." He's like, "Look, I don't know if Polarity told you, but I said if you train with me, I'll spare your friends, complete amnesty." And then she's like, "No, we're not doing that. We're looking for you." And he's like, "Are you looking for me? Or you're after me?" And she's like, "Yeah, you sliced my sister's throat." And he's like, "Well, you healed her like I thought you would." And
Mm.
then when the call ends, she's like, "I know where he is," because she heard the sliding doors from the training room that we've seen in previous episodes.
But you know what? Polarity didn't even bring up that offer. What if she would accept it? So because remember, we already know she's not on the goods with Cipher, but she understands that if it wasn't for Cipher, she wouldn't know that she had the ability to heal and revive.
She'll probably
And
get
she
really
said it.
strong with her powers, and then she'll probably
Yeah.
let him bleed from her nose.
So maybe if she says, "All right, listen, so you're saying everybody can survive, and all I have to do is continue to train with you, and all this is over," well, this could be a good deal. Happy ending.
So Annabeth shows up on campus with everybody else, and she's having more visions. She's seeing a room, she's seeing the lights, the pillars, and she tells him like, I think I know where she is. Um,
And she's
Sam is now struggling with the pledge.
Mhm.
They're calling him the bondage baby, and then Greg and Sam have a little bit of a moment because Jordan's like, okay, they're in that training room. Like, we have to go over there, and this is where he says that he's you know a little bit jealous. But then they're like, okay, we could go over there, and Sam's like, okay, I could jump over there. And then Greg is like, no, I could fly over there. And then Sam's like, well, I'm faster if I jump over there. And then she's like, oh my gosh. So she just like runs off, and then they
Yeah.
just run after her.
Oh boy, already. This wasn't needed so soon. Yeah, we get it. He's jealous, and he says something he has to deal with. But instantly, yeah, the back and forth, that trope of like, all right, who's better? She just neither.
So Marie's outside like the center, and she senses a weaker heartbeat. So she's like, I think Godolkin's here. I could sense him. And then her sister shows up. Everybody shows up, and she's like, Marie, you can't go. Like, I'm having visions of you dying, and I think it's in this room. Like, you can't go. You're gonna die. Marie's like, I have to go.
Mhm.
I have to handle this. And they're all like, no, please don't go. Like, it's like, you know how this is gonna go. And I
And
think
I
we have an
got
audio
yeah,
here.
yeah.
I had a nightmare. I saw them. I saw them dying and dead in a pool of blood. I lived my whole life knowing I could have stopped it. And I didn't. And it's been easier for me to hate you all this time instead of hate myself, but I hate myself anyway.
Why is she just bringing this up now? She could have
And
brought this up before when she was at the hospital area, and instead of playing the whole guilt thing. Remember when someone like, oh, I couldn't
because
talk to
she's
my
been
parents about
suffering with
my ability.
this.
No. She could have just came clean and just said, all right, listen, this was going on. I've always had this power. And
Adam, if you're living with
she's taking
regrets over something or embarrassment of something, she's not gonna just right-handedly admit it. She's been pushing the whole narrative that it's Marie's fault that they died, which kind of is, but she also shares the guilt because she knew that it was gonna happen, and she kept her
She
mouth
should
shut.
have just said it because you already got Marie crying about everything, taking all this blame, having all this guilt, saying that, man, I killed my parents and my sister is being raised by a family friend, and it's a mess. She could have at least at this point said, listen, all right, yeah, I do have visions. Because remember, we knew she had that power, and she played to play it dumb, like, oh yeah, I just there's something I could do now. She's always had that. Come on now. I don't know. I just feel it was too late. Very convenient just to throw it in now.
Well,
It
it was
reminds you of
it reminds you of
like a soap opera. If you ever watched one of
what?
those old ones,
To run the weapon.
yeah, right, yeah, exactly. That they always out of nowhere they bring up some big reveal. It's like, wow, that is Johnny's.
What?
Yeah, that's Johnny's sister. What, you didn't know she was adopted, and the whole drama.
I mean, I like that this little twist of it too, though, because
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it was her last hurrah or last Hail Mary to kind of hold Marie from going,
But it didn't
and it didn't
change a
work.
damn thing.
Marie's
It
like,
didn't
no,
change
I'm gonna
anything.
go,
No.
and then Jordan's like, I'm not letting you go.
She
Like,
grabs. Yeah.
yeah,
Jordan grabs her. It's like, no.
And then Marie uses her powers on Jordan. Jordan starts floating up. You hear their heartbeat, like how she did with the goat. Then all of a sudden, everyone's floating up, and Annabeth's just watching in horror. And then Kate's like, put them down. You're hurting them. Put them down. And she's like, Marie turns to her. She's like, if I help you, if I restore your powers, can you make them stay away? Can you keep them back, please? And she's like, I promised you that I would not use my powers on anybody ever again, or at least you guys.
Did she forget that Cate isn't good with using that type of commands? They still can't find her little brother. Sending them away, she can do, but getting them to come back, she cannot. So that was kind of dumb to even say that. She could have said something else. Can you tell them
go
that,
away for a long time, or just stay away from her?
Or she could say, "Can you just make them all want to go have dinner or something, or go to the cafeteria, something like that?"
I think when she told her brother to go away years ago, I think she just wanted the brother to go away and didn't specify anything. So she has to be very specific.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. She has to be very specific.
Which she's older enough to, ascertain that. But she breaks away. She goes into the room with Polarity. She's like, all right, I need you to distract Cipher while I found Godolkin. So I think we got some images. Cipher standing up on this thing. He's looking at swords and stuff. And Polarity comes in. He's like, oh, is that what you're going to use to cull the herd? And he's like, no, but they're going to use it on themselves. And
he know.
He starts throwing dumbbells and things at him, and he's like, you can't hurt me, remember? He's like, yeah, but maybe I could cut off your head.
Wow. And that's what we said before, right? It's just like, decapitate, rip him up, and that's it. He keeps saying he can't get hurt. We've seen that with the hand and all that. But dismemberment, Evil Dead style, right? There's no coming back from that.
He's like, you look better than the last time I saw you. And then he's like, wait, where's Marie?
Where is Marie?
And then the whole group shows up now, and Polarity's like, don't let him leave this room. And so the girls break away, and it's mostly just the guys staying in the room fighting Cipher. And Cipher knows that Polarity, he can't access Polarity, but he's using everybody else against him. So you got Jordan punching Polarity, Sam fighting each other.
That's the thing, because he said, all right, I know you have the ability that you can block and protect them, but it's like whack-a-mole. Which one? Because he can't protect all of them. It's not like a huge force field type of thing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he's able to jump in. Cypher's able to jump into each one and then just start attacking. Very much reminds me of The Matrix Reloaded with Agent Smith. And he's just taking your like and then attacking, and then another person walking groceries like, oh wow, what's going on there? And then they go running in, and next he's fighting all of them.
That was a cool.
So, yep.
Marie runs downstairs and she hears the heartbeat. She goes into the room and she finds Godolkin. What we all believed was Thomas Godolkin. She goes up to him and she asks him, "Are you Thomas Godolkin?" And he nods. And she's like, "And if I heal you, can you help us fight Cipher? Can you help us?" And he nods again. So she takes his arm. You see his burns and everything start healing. His chest expands. His hands are getting younger and more slender. Everything's healing completely.
So this is another little, not a nitpick. It's an issue. Like all right. So you're healing them, and as we see, he heals, and you just said gets younger. What's the cap on this? How young do you go? How young does this happen? I just figured that if you're healing someone, then you're healing them to be the point of before they started dying. You know what I mean? So if a person was like at 67 years old, things are falling apart, and how they look is how they look. That's when you heal them. That's just how they're going to look still, just 67 years old. He looked like an old dude. He looked old. We all said it's the old man, and when he comes back, all healed up.
He's Ethan Slater that we saw.
Yeah.
Except his hair is gray, so I guess he's old now.
That's what I'm saying. It's mixed. It's not a definite during the time, because then if that was the case, then as we saw in the first episode, that's what you're talking about, where they all started morphing and from the different drugs that they took. If that's when he died, he was young. But we're seeing an old man body, so obviously he was aging this whole time. But we need more answers. We're not going to get them all, but keep going.
The girls come down and they find Marie on the ground, passed out. Annabeth's like, Marie. They all get around, and they're like, Annabeth, is this what you saw? She's like, no, not exactly. And then we see Thomas Godolkin standing up. He's in a diaper, and he's looking at his hands, and he's like, "She did it." And he's feeling his hands. It almost feels like that Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire when Voldemort comes back. It's very just like, I'm here. And he's looking around. And for a second, I was like, yeah, like he's here. And then I'm like, oh, wait.
I did not
Because
think
then
that.
it cuts back to Cipher on the ground because Polarity did this yell
Mhm.
and knocks everybody down. And Cipher's on the ground. And then he goes to stand over him with a sword. He's gonna like kill him or chop his head
Yeah.
off. And he's like, "This is for my son." And Cypher's on the ground, or was Cipher, and he's screaming. He goes, "No, no, no, no! Please, please, please! I'm not him! I'm not him! I'm not him!" He's
He
like, "What do you
was
mean?"
never him. Doug from a Blockbuster. Come on.
I'm Doug. I'm Doug. I'm Doug. I'm not him. I'm not him. He was controlling me the whole time. And it's like, what? Which is crazy because remember how Marie couldn't see the Gen V that
Yeah,
she
she could have.
can see it in him before, and I was wondering like why couldn't she see it before?
But that still doesn't make much sense because we've seen him cut his hand. Remember that whole thing with the knife, and then he wrapped it, but eventually it did heal. So it's still that body, even if it's Doug that
Doug's
he's beating.
body.
It's
But
Doug's body.
but Cypher himself can't feel anything that's happening to Doug, essentially. So like anyone's hitting him and stuff, it's not really affecting Cypher per se because he's in that body. It's hurting Doug, but it's not hurting Cypher.
Okay.
So it's like a reverse kind of like what you were saying, the Dorian Gray kind of thing, where like he's the walking painting. You know, Cypher was the walking painting, and the other guy was but
again, no, this goes back to what I was bringing up when I said it was going to come up here. The board of directors, who put this guy as dean? If this was just Doug, I mean, they don't know anything about him. They just give him this position. Hey, you're in charge of, the university. Congrats.
I wonder how long Godolkin's been controlling people, because then he can control everybody that hires people and whatever. Or he
Can
could
he
fake
do
this.
that? Because it's not even just control, but then see through their eyes because he's in the chamber.
He survived for this long. He must have been controlling stuff for mad long, regardless.
I hope they show all that in the final episode of this season. That's what I'd rather. I don't want to see progression. I actually want to see just some backstory on this. And usually I don't because I feel like that just kills the mood. It slows the pace of the show. But in this case, no, I want to know, like you said, how long has he been doing this? Clearly, this is one of the powers that he obtained when he did when they were drinking all the different serums. But yeah, if that's the case, damn, how many people can he control at once? Because if he's controlling Doug, let's say that's that body, Doug, and then he can see through Doug and then control others, that's a lot. That is a superpower.
And he was, mind you, he was doing that at like low power, his heart rate down and everything.
Yeah,
just to show his stuff is crazy right now. But he's the one that made Gen V. He's the one that did all this. He's literally the father of this whole thing. So he's ultimately like, possibly one of the most powerful beings out there. But he comes out, and then everybody grabs Marie. They go pull her out of the room, and Cate's looking in horror at Cipher now. I guess Godolkin, and he's just like staring at her, like smirking at her, because every conversation that she's ever shared with the other Cipher that we thought of was technically him. And he even says to himself, he's like, she was right. She was right. She knew that Marie would come down and be, and try to save this situation, which he's talking about Sister Sage. Even in the episodes before when Sister Sage was having sex with Cipher, he was watching from the bathtub and we thought it was like some like kind of weird situation. He was into that. She knew from the jump that was him. And this is her way of getting to him.
But then still with when, let's say Doug, Cipher, whatever, when he was beating on the old guy in the other episode, remember? And he's just is that just frustration?
Frustration.
That's it.
Just on him and for him to feel the pain.
And it's like, oh man, that's my body that I'm beating on. It's like, why? Yeah. Why am I here? Why is this and this and that?
That's why when he killed himself, it was like his inner turmoil.
Think about this. This could have, and I'll say my, keep going, and then I'll say my piece.
It was just like his inner turmoil.
Wait.
So then everyone leaves, and then Godolkin goes outside, and he's in a diaper, and he looks over and he sees that pledge kid from before, and he's like,
Mm.
and the pledge is looking at him. He's like, "You're a little old to be a pledge, aren't you?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, what are your powers?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, my powers are kind of simple." He's like, "My feet could turn into like kind of like hands. Like I get like thumbs. I can like make my big toe into thumbs and stuff."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, okay." So he's like, "So you're like bottom 10% of rankings?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then he makes him take the chain that he had around his neck,
Yeah.
the dog collar, the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
makes him squeeze it and squeeze it. And we just see him collapse in the background
That's
as
right.
Godalkin goes to walk onto the campus. So,
Mm-hmm. And that's just one of many. He's
yeah.
going to go through the whole thing. And I was expecting from that drone shot just to see a bunch of people just falling all over the place. You know, just to clean up house because that's what he's going to do. And then that's how that ended.
I liked it.
Yeah, I'm just there's so many ways that they could have gone about this and it could have ended. And I said this before we started recording. If this was the goal to have Marie reach his body to heal, then he could have just left the body in the office. Well, back at the house, right at the beginning of this episode. And when Cate and Marie showed up, they could have found the body in the chamber. And it's like, this is Thomas Goodall. All right, then let's heal him. Whoop. And then that's it. Why do the running around and the fighting? I get it for the show, but for the story, we didn't need it.
Well, I said because you brought this up before we filmed. My thing is that he didn't know that Marie even knew that was Thomas Godalkin or any of that narrative. So because
I think
Stan Egger told her
this.
Stan Egger told her that. So
But
then she came.
No. With Cate, remember Cate figured it out when she was like, "Hey, I went into that back room and he has an old guy."
Yes, but they
that's in
didn't
the
know who
chamber.
that old guy was. They didn't know it could be Godalkin until Stan Egger. Because remember, Godalkin apparently died years ago, like in the 50s type thing. Like,
But no one had his body. That we did learn in the last episode. His body was never found.
but in the same sense, why do we think that? Why would we think?
Yeah.
So he also wanted to prolong this whole situation because that's why he was freaking out in that basement. He was like, "It's over. It's over." If he thought that it wouldn't be over in this whole thing and it laid him out, then that would be a different story. He was hiding out. He was hiding out right there because he knew that maybe they didn't care to heal the guy and they would just take them out. It would be over. So they fell into the trap, thinking that they were saving themselves from the trap.
Yeah,
and now
see,
it's even
this
worse.
would have made more sense also if Sister Sage would have shown up, or called him, or they could have done a text message. I get it. We see it in every episode. That's it. When someone from the boys comes, they come and they go. That's it. But like you said, everything really applies to what she had said regarding Marie and the setup and with Annabeth and setting all that in motion.
Yeah.
That was all a test. That was also confirmed in this episode.
Because he wanted to keep working with her. He wanted to keep training her. So maybe he felt that she could get stronger before this whole healing process.
But training her and all that, okay. But I think if he would have come clean and say, "Hey, look," he didn't even have to say if it was Godolkin's body. Say, "Hey, I got this old guy." Say, lie. This is me. This is my dad, right? My dad. Look at him. He's all messed up in his chamber. You now have this power to heal. Forget about me. Let's say if he came, I'm just saying, if she came back all pissed, ready to take vengeance. All right, forget about me. Can you heal my dad, please? And then you could do whatever you want. Just heal him. And then, poof, would have had it done. There's other ways to go about. I get it for the show. This is the route they went. But I don't know. So, I mean, you like this episode.
Yeah, I liked it.
I don't know. Some of it.
I like the reveal of the whole thing and the idea that Cipher wasn't Cipher because I wasn't sure if they were in cahoots or whatever. Like, I wasn't sure. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. The whole thing with Sam and Greg. Yeah, whatever. That's a side story there. I don't know how far they're going to go with that. They'll probably go as far as this show keeps going, if that's a thing. It looks like Emma is about to date Superman because the dude can fly and he's got strength and all this. Unless maybe he can't shoot lasers out his eyes. Who knows?
Just be Homelander.
Exactly. I'm surprised no one's even questioning. It's like, wait, you can fly? How many others can fly? I thought Homelander was the only one that had. I mean, we've seen some others have the ability to fly in the boys, but I mean at the campus. And with what's his name? Not Wonder Boy. I'm blanking on
Yeah,
Sam's son. I mean Sam's brother.
Yeah.
He had that ability. So,
But he was like a Human Torch kind of thing.
he had that too. He had a bunch of things going on. But I don't know. It was all right. It was good. I just it's the drama parts that throw me off in a way, or like just adding, like I said before, the whole soap opera dun dun dun. I've always known, and dun dun dun. I could have stopped it, and dun dun dun. This is my.
But it's funny because if that wasn't present, then we'd just be like, why is everything happening? Is no one talking? What's then there'll be like no further plot, you know what I mean?
No. They can talk, but just talk when it's brought up. And like when Annabeth said, "Hey, listen, I got this ability, the sensing." Remember back at the facility, the hospital area, and it's like, "Wait, when did you have this?" I've had it since I was a kid. It's just something, and it's always been there. And even with the whole thing with mom, and then all this and that, I had these weird visions.
She was still guilty. She had to be pushed to the edge to reveal that information.
Yeah.
If I had a dark secret like that, I'm not just gonna be
like, save it for off here. I want to hear these dark secrets. There we go. We'll do another special. We'll call it Josh's Dark Secrets Revealed.
Oh my god.
And then that's it. And that'll be amazing. People will love it. All right. I think that's it. We did it. This is the end of the episode. If you made this far, please continue, like, subscribe. If you didn't like it, like, subscribe. Share. We're still going with this. We have a bunch of other shows that we're covering here as well. We got Slow Horses. We got Tulsa King. Shout out to a friend of the channel, Sylvester Stallone. We love him. He's great. Rocky for life. And we got a bunch of others that are coming down the pipeline. So that's it. And we'll be back for the finale. And then we'll see if it all adds up. If you guys thought this was a great season, or if you saw this coming, I want a surprise. I'm telling you, I want a surprise. And I have a feeling it's holy moly. Wait a minute. I just realized something. This is the first episode that we didn't get somebody from The Boys showing up. Right? Every episode had one. There's nobody from The Boys showed up in this one.
No, you're right.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the butcher shows up later.
Technically, the girl, the daughter.
That was good. See, she was already in the last one, though, so it doesn't really count. But hey, whatever. We'll be back for the finale next week. All right, everybody. Thanks again. Peace.